Hello, everyone. Today I want just to get on camera and just share what I'm witnessing and what I'm observing around me. As many of you know that I'm here in the Lion's Den in the metropolitan of Washington, D.C., one of the most dense areas I've ever lived in, especially coming from Mexico, living in California, and traveling through the world and really seeing what is happening at this moment. How much energy is being brought forward in the momentum of this virus that is really creating pandemonium, fear, anxiety, worry, where I see such a display of individuals acting from their lower vibrations, from their limited beliefs, from an area where, out of no judgment, out of nothing to deem as good or bad, but just witness what people are doing and what this sentiment is coming out of in the local media, in the news, and just in this virus, this disease that somehow is gaining all of our attention, is creating closure of international countries, of schools, of all of these agendas that are being placed forth of all of a sudden this coronavirus. Take nothing away from the validity, from the truth, from how big it is, how many cases there are, but I will say, as a health professional, growing up and watching and seeing everything from the swine flu, from the SARS, from Ebola, how this energy really has an impact on us. Because on the other end, what is going on right now? What is happening in your life? What is going on in the collective? Each morning, I'm receiving powerful messages of how crucial right now, this time period, right before the spring equinox, in our shifting, in our growth, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, of our ability to stay open, to receive what is coming down through the universe and our activations and our light codes and our ability to even shift higher in who we are, is at such a pinnacle, an epiphany before us. Yet on the other side, there is this virus, there's this fear, there is this energy that wants to create more separation, that wants to isolate us by closing everything down, and it wants to disempower us by feeding us all the fearful things that it could happen. Just like SARS, just like swine, just like Ebola, just like all of the viruses that go on throughout the world. For last night I was at the gym. 700 cases are now known in America. Well, let's take how many viruses are in America right now. There's probably thousands. And how much are they having an impact on us, where people are dying every day because, last I know, elderly people are transitioning. And yes, newborns go through the processes. Yet, what I see and what I'm really becoming aware of is there is this campaign of fear and disempowerment of our livelihood. We are here to live in our fullness of strength, in our love, in our courage, in our will to thrive and evolve. That is our natural way of being. Yet when I witness of what's happening out in society, when I observe what's happening around me, I'm starting to notice people kind of coming inward, becoming less in their reception of who they are because they're starting to retract. They're starting to get scared. They're starting to fear that something big is going to take over their life and destroy them, which is nothing right or wrong. All I'm saying is there is a natural tendency when news is over sensationalized, when we start to exaggerate how bad something is. What is really behind all of that? What is really happening? And the reason I bring this forward is because I truly feel, as serious or non-serious this virus is, there's something even more important happening right now. Is our growth, is our evolution. And when we give our choice to this fear or to this distraction or just our energy of how much harm it could be creating for us, we take away this perfect opportunity to really tap into the amazing, incredible, wonderful evolution in our consciousness and our ascension and our journey right now. And I know that we're not here to live in a fear-based society. Yet when we step back from it, we have to really look at the tactics of what fear is doing. Even from us light workers, I have to look at my own triggers. Because I'm not getting caught into it. I'm triggered of just the frustration that there are many people that are almost becoming hypnotized or believing every single thing that they see, that they're putting the gloves on, they're stepping away from human touch, and they're becoming a little paranoid to this virus that really, is it really that serious? Is it really causing that many deaths? You know, traveling around the world and watching media, it is so easy to put a mole into the media. Working with spiritual, psychic shamans, they watch it because all it takes is a small epidemic to create this huge, huge virus of worry, stress, fear that shuts everything down, and then all of a sudden we go into our worst fear ever, death. Really, the worst fear out there is death. Yet when we look at a virus, those that are strong, those that are healthy, those that are eating every day, those that are exercising each day, those that are living in a state of well-being, it's not like it's coming on your door to get you, as they would say in the media. It's not coming here to take your life away. But somehow, what I'm recognizing in society and people, and more specific where I see in the DC metropolitan area, which is the most programmed conditioned area of the whole world, it is becoming like pandemonia. You walk into any supermarket and the water's gone. Toilet paper's missing. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a virus. A comet hasn't come down to explode our world. We're not in a world war. We're not sitting here struggling for our last droplet of water because there's been a water epidemic. There is a virus. It's moving through the world, and somehow it's capturing all of our attention to do what? To distract us, to disempower us, and to create a lack of focus, a lack of desire, a lack of will of where we are going, of what we are really doing. And what is that? What's happening right now? What is moving through our systems and our evolution and our ascension? Some of the most incredible changes in our entire humanity. We're blossoming into some of our most incredible spiritual gifts. We're witnessing as we release this debris in 2020, the year where we're seeing a mirror of ourselves, we're evolving to a whole new era in this age of Aquarius. In this beautiful golden age, we're moving and expanding and evolving. Yet how can that stop? How can that be halted? Well, let's place a virus out there. Let's create some fear, and let's really make it worse than what it is. Heck, let's close the country down. Let's make it seem much bigger because 8% is in the population and 2% is here. We haven't even hit 50%. Yet it's still growing. And so my question is, if it keeps growing, how are we going to react? If we have several weeks where everything is closed, what are we going to do? Are we going to act from fear and think the world is coming to an end? Or are we going to stand tall in our truth and our belief, what we want to do versus what we fear what could happen? Because when we really put all of our energy in what we desire, what we create, what we want to make happen, that's when the magic starts. That's when our real multidimensional self expands, because we're putting our full expression from our hearts, from our love. So it's really a question for you. Is this fear? Is this distraction overtaking your life and causing you to feel any less than what you really are? Is it pulling you away so we're that daily conversations? Well, I don't know if this is going to happen. Well, we may have to cancel this. Well, the airlines go down. We're feeding it. And have you ever witnessed those that are very fearful of something? They attract it. But if those that are standing in their strength, in their love, in their power, that's the vibration that's coming forward. So, no wrong or right, good or bad, but just to check within to see, where is it pulling that vulnerability within you? Where is that fear that's starting to take the carpet underneath you and start to bring a little doubt, a little insecurity? Nothing wrong, nothing right. It just is. It's an experience. For me, when I look at this fear, it allows me to rise even higher, because what's the gift of it? Yes, it's allowing us to really look at the most important thing in our whole world, our health. So let's start exercising more. Let's start taking more vitamins. Let's doing the things that our body needs and to honor our physical health and well-being, let alone our mental and emotional. It's important now to really focus within and not really get so pulled in the outer, because your inner guidance is within yourself. Your intuition, your incredible multidimensional gifts that are here to spread, versus getting pulled in areas where it doesn't do any good other than creating more separation, more anguish, and more pain. And for those that want to go there, God bless you. It may be a more challenging journey. But for those that we know that we've come here to serve, to help, and just share the positive energy that this too shall pass. And we are here as powerful human beings with very incredible immune systems that are not here to absorb all of this distress, this dis-ease. We dot our I's and cross our T's. We live a life in balance and harmony, that we don't have to worry about all this. The reason why I really wanted to get on here today was to remind you of how powerful you already are, how strong you are, how magnificent you are, and that no virus is here to wipe you out. It's not. It's here to test us, to challenge us, to see where our thoughts may lead. Are we moving toward more separation versus oneness? Or are we rising? Because for me, I don't want to stress on all the gloom and doom and bad that we don't even know if it's going to happen or not. Why even go there? Yes, we can be prepared, but do we have to overly prepare for the death and gloom and drama that's going to happen if it happens? Or can we take it from a different perspective and say, hey, this is a wake-up call to place ourselves into our fullness of empowerment? Because if all this is happening, what's behind it? What's going on really? And that's for us to go inward, to feel our own truth, to feel our own intuition. And I bet as many people that would literally be watching the news and feeding all that energy, if you turn the channel off and go inward and meditate and feel what's coming through, there would be a different reaction. And that's what I want to focus on today. That reaction is the choice of where you want to give your attention to. When we give that attention to fear, we're coming from a limited belief, a limited perspective. When we give the permission and our attention to love, we're coming from an infinite source, from the most powerful vibration of the whole universe that we can act upon, that we can share, and that we can co-create versus destroy. And today, I feel this virus, this energy that's building, that may get worse, that may turn to an epidemic. It is time to really go within and to feel, what is my choice? What is my reaction? What is my world? Because right now, I'm sitting in a place and I'm fully healthy. I'm serving my heart's desire. And I'm living a life that I choose versus a life that's being controlled. And a lot of times when we see these things, it's an attempt to control, to take our freedom away, of our empowerment, of our love, of the expansion. So I share this to bring forth the message that we are in the most powerful time in one of the most amazing places in our lives, and to really trust within of what you're receiving versus being distracted. And it can easily be spiritual leaders, it can be presidents, it can be some of the most influential people. Trust yourself. We don't have to go into apocalyptic mode. I can't even say that word right now because I'm just frustrated at it. We don't have to go into doomsday. We don't have to go into the end of the world. The world starts here, in our heart. So let's start living from there, from the place that we know is the truest and most authentic. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for really listening to your hearts, following your hearts, and believing what the heart says, because that's the ultimate truth of it all. Much love, many blessings.